This is an exciting historic opportunity for all of the HBCUs to come up and highlight the value of our institutions that have been instrumental in shaping the middle class of America. Just as the new master plan will give indication, the state actually need HBCUs to ramp it up even more in terms of the production of talent here in the state. And so we accept that obligation to do so.
And we are clapping and cheering because this is the first time ever that we have come together in this way as Louisiana Historically Black Colleges and Universities. So we have our public HBCUs and our private HBCUs all together in the room right now. And before we get started, or as we get started, we'll do a quick roll call. I want to hear who's in the room. So I'll start alphabetically. Dillard University. Dr. Kimbrough was taking names. One more time. Dillard University so he can see. Next up, alphabetically, is Grambling State University. Okay, y'all. Okay, Southern, we're next. Southern University and A&M College. Love it. And last but not least is Xavier University. Awesome. Thank you, thank you. And Southern University, I did not want to leave out that we are here represented by 5 campuses. That's Southern University, A&M in Baton Rouge, Southern University of New Orleans. It's okay. We were trying to wait for them. We're holding a seat for her. And Southern University of Shreveport. Our smallest campus, but our loudest campus. Okay. Southern University Law Center. And the Southern University Agricultural Research and Extension Center. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, we were asked to stall for a few minutes while the elevator was coming up. So hopefully everyone is with us right now. We're going to get started. I'm Robin Merrick with Southern University, and we've been charged with leading this effort to bring all of us together. And we're very excited to finally be at this point in all of our planning and deliberations and conversations over the last month or so. And so I would like to introduce, to start us off, because this is a recommendation from the HBCU Advisory Council that was brought together by Senator Wesley Bishop on last year. And he is in the Senate and Governmental Affairs Committee meeting right now, and they've got a big vote coming up, so he's trying to get to us. But on that panel also is Representative Patrick Jefferson, who will bring greetings on behalf of the HBCU Advisory Council.
On behalf of our illustrious Governor, John Bell Edwards, as well as the chair, the initiator of this HBC Advisory Committee, Senator Wesley Bishop. Indeed, this is an historic day at the Louisiana Capitol, and we are so excited, euphoric, that all of the historically black colleges and universities have come together because, indeed, we are one. All you need to do is to look and interface and interact with the various legislators who have been fortunate enough to graduate from some of the most prestigious and historic institutions, not only in this state, but throughout this nation. And we are so committed to our HBCUs. And today we want to laud and thank these giant of men and women who lead these outstanding institutions. Let's give them a round of applause. Where would any of us be without our HBCUs? Today we are highlighting, today we are encouraging our students who are the continuation of this great dream, and today we are signaling to the great state of Louisiana that this is only the beginning, and we look forward to growing this annual event. And as we often say in North Louisiana, the best is yet to come. So welcome to this historic day, and we further engage you with all that you have as it relates to enhancing these outstanding universities. Give yourselves a round of applause. Thank you.
Next, we will hear from each of our university presidents today who've come together. This, again, is a historic moment for them as well. We're celebrating HBCU unity throughout this last year as this council has come together and the work that it's done. So we're going to hear in this order from Dr. Walter Kimbrough, president of Dillard University, followed by Dr. Rusty Ponton, who serves as vice president for student affairs, Grambling State University. He's representing Rick Gallo, who could not be with us today. Then we will hear from Dr. C. Reynolds Verrett, president of Xavier University. And lastly, we will hear from Dr. Ray Belton, president and chancellor of Southern University System, Southern University and A&M College. So in that order, gentlemen, we look forward to hearing from you.
First of all, I'd like to thank Southern University, because I think Southern has normally had this day scheduled, and so for Southern University and Chancellor Belton to open this up for all of us to participate, I want to publicly thank you for that opportunity. I'm glad to be here on behalf of Dillard University. We have a number of our students who are here. I see some back there. Hey, y'all. That are here today, as well as faculty and staff and alums who are here. Let me just say that this is historic on a number of fronts, but one of the things, and we'll hopefully hear from Senator Bishop, is that he had this idea that we would have this kind of convening, and really we've been working together for over a year. Last summer, the HBCUs in the state got together with business leaders, with the White House Initiative on HBCUs, to figure out how do we leverage the HBCU story and competitiveness in the state of Louisiana. Soon after that, the bill was passed by Senator Bishop to create this commission that will meet later on today. And so President Gallo and I chair one of the subgroups or working groups, and ours deals with public relations and messaging. And so we wanted to have several events. And so one of the events that we said we wanted to have is to have a day like this. And so this becomes a tangible effort, because we all know there are lots of commissions and things that are created that don't do anything. And so this one has already produced. We had our first meeting at SUNO in August. We are now having this event today. And so this is very important, but part of what our group is going to do, and there are 4 work groups. Our work group wants to make sure we continue to have these conversations to lift up the message of HBCUs. UNCF recently did a study that looked at the economic impact of HBCUs right here in the state of Louisiana. Annually, it's almost a $1 billion enterprise in terms of what HBCUs provide to this state, over 8,000 jobs annually, and the lifetime earnings of HBCU graduates in this state are over $9 billion. So those are the stories that we don't hear enough about and we don't talk about. And so part of what our work group will do is continue to have those kinds of stories. And all the work groups working together will do this as well. So we're excited to be here as Dillard University in solidarity with the HBCUs in this state. We're excited about this day. We hope that we'll continue to have these kind of opportunities. Louisiana really takes the lead. There's some work that's being done in Mississippi and Alabama, but nobody's doing it like this. So we should be proud of what we're doing and being in this space here today together doing this. So I look forward to this being an annual event. When that will grow, and we'll do additional things as well. So I want to thank you all for being here today, for supporting your HBCUs, particularly those of you who are alums. Let me remind you, you need to give to your institution annually. I say it so you don't have to say it, but we have to continue to support our own, because we just can't keep asking for things and we don't support our own as well. So thank you for being here today.
Obviously, I'm not Rick Gallo, President Gallo. I was asked by President Gallo, and I graciously accepted this honor at this historic event. And I want to start off by saying that I want to publicly thank these gentlemen right here and the chancellors and ladies who lead our institutions, because I'm here speaking on behalf of President Gallo, who we think is everything in sliced bread. It's the best thing since sliced bread. But I want to tell you guys, these men do a tremendous job, and these women do a tremendous job for our HBCUs here in the state of Louisiana. So I want to publicly give you. And with that saying, I've been blessed to come from HBCU, yes, I did graduate Robin. And for anybody who says rusty, you know, they know me. So I graduated from Southern University. I represent Grambling State University. I've been there for 30 years. Most of my students weren't even born at that particular time. When I look around this room, I see individuals who have affected my life in a positive way for all of my life. And I gotta tell you, I've been affected by all of these institutions. I recently got engaged, Dr. Kimbrough, on Sunday to a Dillard grad. I have a Xavier graduate who's a doctor who's gonna take care of me. I got my degree in engineering from Southern University, and many of my cousins are lawyers from Southern University. So this is truly an opportunity to say thank you, thank you. I want to make sure that I mention some of the outstanding things that are going on at Grambling State University, which is representatives of HBCUs. We have Shakila Hill, who is the only two-time quadruple person in the country to ever have that in a basketball game. So anybody know what a quadruple double is? Okay, Google it. You'll find her name. You'll see her name right there. I also want to recognize the fact that we have 3 engineers that were Black Engineers of the Year, who are recognized as Black Engineers of the Year. So that's another big thing that we're looking at. We have the first ever digital library that will be coming online in the next couple of years. So we're proud of that. And the first BA in cybersecurity. These are just innovative things that are going on at Grambling State University that are things that are going on in all of our institutions. So when we say HBCUs here, we are one. We understand those games that we play are only once a year on those dates. But truly, truly, we're in this together. Thank you.
Hello. It's a great pleasure to follow my fellow presidents and the VP from Grambling to speak about what HBCUs are achieving, not only for the state of Louisiana, but also nationally. And I'm coming back to the issue of talent formation, which is what HBCUs are about. At Xavier University, we are one of many HBCUs, but what we accomplish is only an example of what is being accomplished by other HBCUs in Louisiana. We send more African-American physicians to medical school who go on to become physicians than any school in the country. We've been doing that for several decades. We send more scientists who go on to get PhDs in the life sciences than any school in the country, or African-American, and that's more than, and we've been doing that for decades. Other HBCUs are doing exactly that work. What I want to speak is about the talent that is necessary to bring jobs to the city of New Orleans like DXC. When they ask of HBCUs how you are shaping that workforce and the future of Louisiana. The talent that the country needs. I go back to a study that was done in 2002 called Meeting the Needs by ETS, talking about sciences, and I'm a scientist myself. What are we doing in the STEM fields to prepare the country for the needs of the country a decade later? And what they said, that if you do not educate the Black and brown young people of this country, the country doesn't meet its needs. HBCUs have been doing this and continue to do this for Louisiana and for the country. The programs that we are creating at Xavier, looking always as we have for the last 100 years, what are the programs that the state and the region needs? A pharmacy program arose here in the 20s and 30s. It was the first one in the state of Louisiana. Today, with Ochsner, we are preparing the PA program, the Physician's Assistantship Program with Ochsner University, the Ochsner Foundation. That program will provide another increase by 60% or more the number of PAs being educated in the state of Louisiana, which healthcare is one of our industries. We are providing that need. Our data science programs, meeting the digital needs of not only for Xavier students, but of the communities. And when I speak of the degrees that students at Xavier earn, it is not only a benefit to each individual student. We have to think of these as benefits to our communities because they go back and serve their communities, they go back and build industries. Those students are building the United States. In order to compete, I want to take us back to something important. The government of China has a talent search program for China, whereby they send their students to study anywhere in the world, including some of our HBCUs and universities in the United States, and they want to repatriate their talent. If the United States wants to compete economically with the rest of the world, from an international leadership perspective, it has to educate its talent. And talent is not only found within certain restricted socioeconomic groups, within certain ethnic groups, talent is found everywhere. I use a colleague of mine, Squire Booker, whom I knew when he was a young student, the Eberly Professor of Chemistry at Penn State. from Texas. He looks like me. The talent this country needs is in our HBCUs, and only by supporting and strengthening these HBCUs do we assure that the state of Louisiana prospers and that this nation prospers. We are doing it, and we've been doing it well. And as we go out, what you're seeing among our students, those who are here and those who are not here, is that they see those before them who go out not only to build their own lives, but they are there to serve. They are serving as physicians, as lawyers, because if you look at the number of justices on the federal court who are Xavier alumni, you see them. If you see judges who are in the state of Louisiana and elsewhere, they are Xavier alumni. Yesterday, I attended a performance by Xavier students, 2 professors, Ron Bechet, that professor, and a colleague at Dillard, at Tulane, performing a dramatic representation of the riot in 1900, the Robert Taylor riot. That occurred in 1900, where our students were using their creativity to dramatize that. We have artists at Xavier, we have scientists at Xavier, and they are at Dillard, they're at Grambling. Those students are our future, and only by investing in that do we strengthen and make our future secure. Thank you.
I come bringing greetings on behalf of the entirety of the Southern University and A&M system. And standing on behalf of those 5 campuses, I nevertheless feel compelled to recognize those leaders who do so much in advancing the mission of Southern University. So if you would indulge me, allow me to actually call upon the chancellors to stand and be recognized, starting with the chancellor of the Southern University New Orleans campus. Chancellor Rodney Ellis from Southern University Shreveport. Chancellor John Pierre from the Southern University Law Center. I know he's here. I'm not sure if he's in the room. Maybe in the elevator, right? Right. We also have Interim Chancellor C. Reuben Walker, who's representing the Ag and Extension Center. And if you will, allow me to also acknowledge the Executive Vice President, Executive Vice Chancellor, the Quasi-Chancellor of the Baton Rouge campus, Dr. James Ammons, who's with us today. And although we stand as representatives of our respective campuses, I also feel compelled to acknowledge those who actually govern and shape the voices of students at our respective institutions, the SGA presidents and staff of the colleges within the Southern University system. Would you all as well please stand and be recognized, our SGA president. I see Ms. Southern over here as well. I have to tell you, this is a special day and historic day to be afforded this occasion to join with my colleagues here. A day that provides for us an opportunity to highlight the value of HBCUs, indeed institutions who have been instrumental in shaping the middle class of America. I'd like to also just kind of thank Senator Wesley Bishop for envisioning the development of the HBCU Advisory Council. He is co-chairing this with Dr. Kim Hunter-Reid, who serves as the Commissioner of Higher Education for the Board of Regents. Interestingly enough, Dr. Reid is on the first floor now, making a presentation before the House Education Committee. And in that committee, she's presenting, if you will, a draft of the new master plan for higher education for the state of Louisiana. One of the goals of that master plan is to increase the attainment rate for working adults by 60%. Right now in the state of Louisiana, the attainment rate is right at 42%. Or should I put it in numbers? I believe we are, students are attaining degrees and credentials in as much as, I think it's 40,000 students annually here in the state. She is suggesting that for higher education to respond to the workforce needs of this state, we have to ensure that we are producing as many as 85,000 degrees by the year 2030. Here's something else interesting that is noted in the master plan. One that says that to achieve that, it's going to require there needs to be an opportunity to address equity issues in the state. For white students, there is a need to increase, if you will, by 4% the attainment of degrees by white students. For African American students, there is a need for our institutions in part to increase the attainment rate by 23%. Just such that the state of Louisiana can provide the talent necessary to support our business and industry. It speaks then not only to the mission of our institutions, but the obligation and responsibility of our institutions to do even more in terms of shaping lives and providing opportunities for the citizens of this state. And it also speaks, in my opinion, to the need for the state, this legislature, to do even more in supporting institutions like the HBCUs that are present here. We are fortunate to have a governor who over the last 3 years have given indication by his actions that he's prepared to get behind higher education and provide the resources necessary such that we could thrive and actually fulfill our mission. But we also enjoy the support of the legislature and in many cases the Louisiana Legislative Black Caucus, who have stood by us side by side in navigating the challenges of institutions of higher education and particularly HBCUs in this state. I was wondering if you would indulge me in recognizing them for their great. And so to close, let me just say that, look, all of our institutions, and particularly Southern, we recognize that we can't be everything to everybody. And we are actually pushing out a strategic plan right now that speaks to the degree to which we are going to prioritize our program such that when a student comes to our institutions, that they're going to be made, what would be made available to them is an academic inventory that's vibrant, that indeed align with their interests, but also provide for them sustainability upon graduation where they would be productive and competitive as they navigate into this global workforce. We have miles to go, but it is really pleasing and gratifying to know that we have the audiences to which are gathered here today to give evidence of how important HBCUs are in this state. And so I just want to simply express my appreciation for you all joining with us today. And again, thank you my colleagues for the great job they're doing in advancing educational opportunities for the citizens of this state. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for being here. This is amazing. I wish you all could see the room from where I'm standing. Maybe you can. You just sort of look around and see that. This is indeed a family reunion as we all come together as the HBCU family. And all of this was made possible in large part by the work of Senator Wesley Bishop, who has joined us and is now going to come and make remarks on behalf of the HBCU Advisory Council, as well as some of the work that they are doing and the work that he's doing in Senate District Number 4. Senator Bishop.
Good afternoon. Let me apologize for being late. One of the hats that I wear is that I serve as the vice chair of the Senate Government Affairs Committee. And we just took on the amendment by J.P. Burrell to ratify the Equal Rights Amendment. And it just passed by a vote of 4-3. I was the fourth vote, so that's why I had to be there. So thank you guys for indulging me on that. A little over a year ago, we had a conversation, and during that conversation, we were talking about bringing the biggest economic project in the state of Louisiana's history to the city of New Orleans. That was the DSC project. We talked about multi-million dollars that was to be a part of that program. And one thing that we did in attempting to lure those individuals here is to show that we had an educated workforce here in the state of Louisiana. We looked all over the state of Louisiana and looked at the numbers of graduates in their majors to make sure we could, in fact, reinforce the company once they actually came here. But I got bothered by something. And what I got bothered by was the fact that once the company came here, I did not think that we were moving fast enough to make sure that the same students that we use to lure these folks here, to make sure they got the same opportunities to benefit from their being here in the state of Louisiana. That our students got the same economic and workforce development opportunities that other universities were receiving. Our faculty and our staff had the same opportunities that we had promised this company once they got here. So sometimes when you get mad, you have to try and get even. So when I tried to get even, I filed this particular bill creating the Louisiana Advisory Council and Historically Black College and University. And it is the first state in the country to ever have a body like we actually have. And what makes it so important, we have some of the finest academic minds leading our public and private HBCUs in the entire country. Give our presidents a round of applause. But not only that, to my right, I have several members of my colleagues from the House and the Senate who serve on the Advisory Council. And something is unique amongst the Louisiana Legislative Black Caucus. The Louisiana Black Caucus has a graduate of every public and private HBCU in the state of Louisiana. So what we decided to do was that to take a look at this body and to break down into 4 different categories, because what I like to say and what I've said many times in the last year, the goal of this particular bill was to put our HBCUs on steroids. And what I mean by that is that other than the state of North Carolina, we have more HBCUs in the state of Louisiana than any state in the country. So we're supposed to lead. We have, and no matter where you look at it, there's something special and unique that's about all of our HBCUs. So we worked hard on that. We have an academic programs committee, making sure we have some of the best programs in the country. And not just that, that we have 5-star programs at our universities, because when you graduate from 5-star programs, chances are you're going to get an opportunity at a 5-star job. And that's the reason why most of our students are here, to make sure that their life, once they leave an HBCU, is better than it was when they came there. Secondly, we have to deal with state and local programs to make sure that we tap into all the resources and all the money that's available to make sure we're a part of all these partnerships that are going on around the entire country. We have a workforce development as well as an economic development committee who are providing that as well. And probably one thing that Dr. Kimbrough is leading this effort for us, and is extremely critical, and that is our public relations and our imaging mission. Public relation and imaging. My chancellor, Dr. Lisa Mims Evans, said a long, long time ago, oftentimes we consider ourselves to be the best kept secret in the state of Louisiana. Well, it's time to make sure that the secret actually gets out. It does no good to have a talent, but have that talent hidden under a rock. Y'all might know my dad is a preacher, so I'm not going to take a text in a second. But it's important that we put that entire piece together. So that's kind of the whole idea around this piece here. You have a group of 20-some-odd individuals around the state doing the yeoman's job. We came up with a whole slew of recommendations. This particular session, as you guys know, happens to be a fiscal session, which means that we're limited for 5 particular bills. What we'll be doing before this session is over with is filing resolutions dealing with each and one of the recommendations that this committee has put together. So next year when we come here, we'll have an unlimited amount of bills. And I look forward to working with my colleagues, particularly in the Louisiana Legislature back caucus, to make sure we move forward on all these particular bills. By this time next year, we expect you to be back up here testifying on behalf of many of these bills to make sure we take care of that. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm a son of HBCUs here in the state of Louisiana. In particular, I'm a son of Southern University. Most specifically, I'm a son of SUNO. I have always a special place in my heart for the HBCUs because in 1989, I was SJ president at Southern University at New Orleans. And I remember when we marched on this place, when Buddy Rum was trying some foolishness, trying to do all kind of craziness, that many of the other individuals who unfortunately sit in this building right here, right now, still want to do. But as my former chancellor says, I am because Southern is. And we will always make sure that the historically black colleges here in the state of Louisiana, the Southern University system, Grambling State University, Dillard University, Xavier University, we will be here to make sure we take care from this day forward. We wouldn't be here. I had an opportunity to go to grad school at Ole Miss. I had a chance to go to law school with State Representative Patrick Jefferson at the Ohio State University. And I also had a chance to spend some time at Harvard University. But don't get it twisted. I never would have showed up on any of those 3 campuses if not for where I was at 6400 Press Drive, because as I say, you can go anywhere from 6400 Press Drive. We're going to have a good young day. Peace and God bless.
So now I come back to our student member of the Board of Regents. Mr. Anthony Kinney is serving as the outgoing SGA president at Southern University and A&M College. But also this past year, the 18-19 fiscal year, he has served as the student member to the Louisiana Board of Regents, and he's going to come now and speak on behalf of our student leaders across the state and even recognize them. Mr. Kinney.
All right, good morning, good morning. It is a great day to be a student of HBCUs. I think I quote one of our most famous celebrities. I would go to any institution. I went to a historically black college and university, Beyonce Knowles. My name is Anthony B. Kinney. I am a graduating senior, mass communications major from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and I proudly serve as the outgoing 2018-2019 Student Government Association president at the Southern University. But most of all, one of the most prestigious honors I had this year was becoming a student member of the Louisiana Board of Regents. And I was voted upon by every and each student government president for every institution here in Louisiana within itself. And with that itself, I overcome and I represent each and every student, not just Southern University. I love it to death. Love my blue and gold. But my overall goal is to make sure the state of Louisiana go to higher standards each and every day in higher education. And one of the biggest things I tell any administrator, any faculty member, that the students are the main stakeholders of any institution that you go to. And I tell my students each and every day, before you come to me with any problem, come to me with a solution. Student government members in this room, y'all know we go through the trenches every day for our administrators. But we don't represent the administrator, we represent the students. But we want to make sure we have a healthy relationship with both sides, the students and the administrators at the same time. But right now, I want to represent the driving workhorses behind our student government at any institution. Right quick, all our HBCU student leaders, we attend a national conference called NASAP. So that's for the National Student Affairs Professionals. All the student leaders, we go to a Leadership Institute. And I could definitely say, when Southern University, Grambling State University, Dillard University, and Xavier University walk in the room, respect is already given. They know that Louisiana produces the best and the brightest student leaders. And now I would like to showcase them right quick. So first up, for Dillard University, Ms. Toya Smith, the student government of President-elect. My successor, because I'm the old guy now, Mr. Donald Dunbar Jr., the incoming Student Government Association President at Southern University, Baton Rouge. The 89th Miss Southern University Agricultural Mechanical College, Miss Alacia Brew. Mr. Warren Thompson, the outgoing president at Southern University at New Orleans. Mr. Patrick Shaw, the student government president-elect from Southern University at New Orleans. Please forgive me if I say this wrong. Ms. Nicole Okiki Oriki, the Student Bar Association president at Southern University Law Center. Ms. Blair McKee, president at Xavier University. My rival on the field one day out the year, but my best colleague of the other 364 days of the year, Mr. Darren Williams from Grambling State University. Ms. Caitlin Jones, and representing the Student Government Association, the Miss Southern University at Shreveport. Any other campus leadership in the room? So let's have all our students stand up. All our students, all our institutions stand up. So overall, to our faculty, staff, alumni, administrators for every institution across our great state, Louisiana, we thank you for your support. Myself, I'm now an HBCU grad. I'm a first-generation graduate out of my family, so I can definitely say HBCUs have worked for me. So with that being said, we can't wait to share our presentation at 12 p.m. I might do a little 1-2, but we want to show that what HBCUs are all about. So thank you all, and God bless.
I always get so excited when I see our students. No matter what's going on in the course of the day, when I come across our students, we just brighten up because that's what we're here for. And that's what everything that we do is all about. And I still say the best day at any university is commencement. It's the day that we work for all year, every day, everything we do is about that day. Joining us now is Mr. Marty Charbert, who serves as the chairman of the Board of Regents. Mr. Charbert, I wanted to recognize you, of course. Regent Charbert, did you want to have any comments?
I just want to say I'm very fortunate as a Regent member that I've had Darian and my SGA member over here, Ms. Anthony Kinney, that has represented the students of Louisiana, not only of Southern and Grambling, but they are great, great examples to all the students. We have a new motto that I use over and over and over at Regents right now with Commissioner Kim Hunter-Reid, and it's all about the students. And that's what the theme that I want to make is, that it's all about the students. And you heard Ms. Merrick say it, and we're going to continue to say it. It's all about the students. Pass it on, pass it on, pass it on. And we're not quitting till we get, I'm going to quote Kathleen Blanco, Governor Blanco, the Queen Bee again. Education is poverty's worst enemy. Education is poverty's worst enemy. Thank y'all.
I first want to thank you all for coming out. This is a monumental day in history to have all of these illustrious institutions come and gather on one cause, HBCUs. My name is Toya Smith, and I serve as the 84th SGA President-elect of Dillard University. Thank you. But all of that being said, I really just want to extend a hand of gratitude, a hand of thanks, and I want to hope that we continue to build on these relationships. I know that personally, Dillard, we've already started trying to connect with different SGA presidents so that this unity doesn't stop here. So I ask that everybody continues to keep that same spirit. As they said in the meeting earlier, you know, we have that one competitive game a year, but for the rest of the year, those other 364 days, we're all a unity, we're all a family. So I hope that we continue on. And Dillard, we're 150 years strong already. So let's continue on and support each other in this work that we're doing. Thank you.
Steeped in history with a long-standing legacy of tradition, service, excellence, and exemplifying my university's motto, the place where everybody, bringing you greetings from the calm city of Simsboro, Louisiana. I am Darian Williams, a graduating senior matriculating in the vast fields of music and theater at none other than Grambling State University. I ask that you guys give another round of applause for the world-famed Tiger Marching Band, who I'm sure you saw. As Anthony Kinney said, Beyonce Knowles, who said that she would decide to choose an HBCU. Well, let's be sure that we are mindful that she chose Grambling State University's band to come and perform for her, specifically chosen. So we have that in mind, that she would definitely choose Grambling State University. So why did I choose an HBCU? Approximately a day after my high school graduation, I started classes at Grambling State University simply because I wanted to grow in my history, and I wanted to be a part of a family that is never ending, that is continuing to grow, and that is Grambling State University. We are so elated to be out here with you all of the HBCUs in Louisiana, and we thank you all, and we pray that you all continue to succeed at your respective institutions. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much, Senator. To all of the students and the leadership and the faculty who are here, thank you for your amazing work. Louisiana is stronger because of our HBCUs. And we love our institutions here, and we want to make sure that we continue to support our HBCUs and that great things continue to happen. I am honored to co-chair with Senator Bishop. We are delighted that the HBCU Advisory Council sits at the Board of Regents. We are the Policy and Advocacy Board for strong talent development in Louisiana. And we know we can't develop great talent if we don't have our HBCUs anchoring this work to make sure that we are erasing equity gaps, we are increasing opportunity, and we're making sure that we have wonderful, wonderful opportunities for all of our students here in Louisiana. So I thank everyone for being a part of this. I appreciate the bands and all of the pageantry and the legacy and the amazing work that has happened today that reminds us of the strength of the asset of our HBCUs. And I appreciate, finally, the message from the Southern University band, we are one. We are one. Thank you.
And HBCU education has meant the world to me. Being that in HBCU we have a small student-to-teacher ratio, so that gives a more intimate setting with the teacher and gives the teacher more extra time to say, hey, let me check up on you, let me see how you're doing in class. A lot of other schools don't have that ability. They're not as fortunate to have a small student-to-teacher ratio.
What are your plans for a career after college?
My plans for career after college is going to get my master's in sports administration. I'm currently a business management major with a concentration in supply chain, and I eventually want to become an athletic director one day.
HBCU education means unity, history, and opportunities for individuals that look like me.
What are your plans for a career after college?
I plan to practice mental health in the low-income rural area for Black individuals.
HBCU education has meant a lot to me, meaning that my professors they know me by name. Anytime I go in the office, they're willing to help. It's never a hassle for them to help me. So being at HBCU means everything to me.
What are your plans for a career after college?
To go to grad school and get my master's in public health, and then get my doctorate and become a hospital CEO.
I plan to matriculate into a law school after I take the LSAT in June.
How has the HBCU education prepared you for law school?
Through partnership with Xavier and Dillard, I've been a lead scholar at Dillard University and studying political science and research at Xavier University.
In Louisiana, I want them to know that these students are tremendous resources here for the state of Louisiana, and these students do a great job for us. So we want these students to have all of the opportunities that any other institution would have, so they can get that at a HBCU.
There is a significant economic impact that these institutions play in this state of Louisiana. So if you're looking at annually almost $1 billion a year that's generated over 8,000 jobs, it's very important for our economy, and particularly for a state like Louisiana where we want to have more educated people. We still have a wealth gap here. We have an education gap. These institutions play a critical role in helping us to close those gaps. So it's something that we want to continue to invest in all of higher education in the state of Louisiana, but particularly the HBCUs.
What I want people to know is that we have been forming and educating students who build our communities and our society. Right now, it is about the talent that Louisiana needs for its industries, for its workforce, but also for the leadership of its communities to build it for its future.
Southern University understands and realizes its obligation to help shape lives such that students can realize their aspirations, but also provide the talent to support business and industry in the state. And so we're committed to that mission.